Thank you for turning to page 121. Today we're going to roll up a character. We're going to roll up a character for AD&D, Player's Handbook. It's just going to be a fighter, a nice basic character. But I'm going to show how you can use your die rolls and manipulate your numbers a little bit to give you a pretty optimized character. No power gaming, just legal use of different rules that are found in AD&D. So you can go ahead and you can get the best character you can be. We're going to be using 7 stats. Comeliness is a stat. It's on those little sheets they published from TSR in 1985 to 86. Those are the ones we use at my table. Everybody has a comeliness stat at my table, so I'll be doing one today. So 7 stats, not 6. And we're just going to take a look at ways you can kind of think of things and, oh, hey, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that with your character. Also want to remind everybody, I'm still looking for subscribers. Yay, always looking for subscribers. Doing really well. The channel is growing very well. I really appreciate the support. Everybody who's subscribed already, thank you very much. Everybody's been on the fence. Come on in. We talk about games here a lot. So I try to make this a very user-friendly channel. I try to make it a family-friendly channel. I know the pains of being a dad to a young kid who liked a channel where the people on the channel weren't very good about having child viewers. So I try to keep this very user-friendly. And I try to bring everything across exactly as IDM. It's in the exact same style as IDM. Try to throw a little humor in there, try to have some fun. So please subscribe if you get the opportunity, but back to the topic at hand, creating a player character starting out of the Player's Handbook. Okay, I've rolled my character up. I actually rolled pretty well on this guy. I've given myself a natural 18 somewhere. At my table, everybody starts with 118. Then I rolled a 16, another 16, and a 17. I also rolled a 12, an 11, and a 15 in there. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these stats where I want. The method I used to roll, by the way, was 4 dice 6. Reroll or throw out the lowest, which this would only be a 6. So it's not always a perfect method of doing it. If somebody rolls really bad, I will let them re-roll it. There we have a 16, and that's why some of the stats will tend to be a little bit higher. I don't mind that at all. I've contended forever that you could have 18s across the board. It would make no difference to me. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug my first 18 up here into strength. And I know I'm going to get exceptional strength, so I'll put the slash. So there goes my first 18. The next thing I want to worry about is my constitution. I want a good con. So I'm going to put my 17 there as my con. Next, I have to worry about dexterity. I want to be dexterous, so I'll take a 16 for my dex. So now I have a 15 or 16, 11, or 12 for my intelligence. I'm going to take a 15 intelligence. I want to be a pretty smart guy. I'll take a 16 in wisdom, because I know that'll give me a saving throw bonus on mind-controlling spells. Charisma and comeliness. I'll take a 12 charisma, and my dump stat, 11 comeliness. Okay, so there we have my basic guy. I have started him out with an 18 strength and a 17 con. Now I'm going to take a look at a little-known section in the Dungeon Master's Guide, and it's an area that I've always paid a lot of attention to. I've known some DMs who weren't even aware of this, but you do get adjustments based on age. So we go to page, there's Dungeon Master's Guide, and we go to page 12. On page 12, we see the adjustments for age. So we see your starting age. I'm a human, and I'm a human fighter, so I start at 15 plus 1 die 4. You're going to hear some dice bags rattling because I'm pulling out very dice as we go. So I'm starting out as 18 years old. Yay, I'm an 18-year-old human fighter. 18 years old. Okay, so now I'm 18 years old. What does that do for me? Well, I look on the human table, and I see what my age category is. As a human, 14 to 20, I'm a young adult. I lose a point of wisdom. Oh no, my wisdom goes to a 15. But I gain a point of constitution. My con goes to an 18. Yay! And then as I go age a little bit more, and it's a young human, once I hit 21, I get that point of wisdom back. I lost the point of wisdom there, but once I mature, I add a point of strength and a point of wisdom. So I could actually have manipulated this character a little bit to put the 18 to somewhere else, and I would still have bumped it by 1. For us, once you have an 18 with exceptional strength, you lose that benefit for gaining your point of strength once you mature. So there is a legal way to go ahead, and I lose a point of wisdom, but I gain a point of con. So now I've started out with an 18 whatever strength and an 18 constitution. So my hit points, I'm 18 years old, my hit points at my table are going to start with 1 die 10, so 10 plus 4 for my constitution of 18. I'm starting with 14 hit points. That's a pretty good start. That's a real good way to enter the world. I'm still looking for dice here. My percentage dice tend to hide. All right, here are my percentage. Where are my percentage dice? Had to dump the entire bag out. Still looking, still looking. There she is. I've used these percentage dice for over 40 years. Purple is 10s. I'm rolling for my exceptional strength now. I have an 18. Okay, here's my first roll. I have an 1828. Okay, that's all right. I'd be disappointed if I was the player. I get a second roll. 1894. Now, at our table, I can take a third roll and live with it, or I can take the 94. I know me, I'm taking the 94, but just for grins, let's see what I would have rolled. I would have rolled 26, so I would have rolled badly. So I've got an 1894 strength because I, as the DM, allow multiple rolls. I've had the disappointment of having a player character fighter start out with an 18 strength and then roll poorly on it. So an 1894 strength gets me +2, +5. +2 attack, +5 damage. Okay, now I've gone ahead and I've gotten my my strength, my intelligence, wisdom, dexterity, con, charisma, and comeliness. I'm 18 years old. I have 14 hit points. I'm +2, +5. I'm going to be a double longsword specialist. Double longsword specialist. And a lot of people don't let people take double specialization at first level, and I get that. I do. It costs you 3 slots to double specialize, but it gets you an additional +3, +3. So now my to hit and damage just went to +5, +8. So I'm now +5 attack, +8 damage, and I get 3 to 2 attacks. 3 to 2 attacks is I get 3 attacks for every 2 I ordinarily would have gotten or my opponent would get. In other words, I get 1 attack the first round, 2 the second round, 3 to 2. It's just how they call it. It's a strange way, I know, but that's how it's done. So I have, without power gaming as such, although arguably I did power game a little bit, I have created a ridiculously powerful first level fighter. I'm going to roll for my starting gold now. That's out of the back of the player's handbook. And my starting gold, come on, there she is. There we go. My basic equipment, my starting money for a fighter is 5 die 4 times 10. So I will throw my dice, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we go. 50 to 200 gold pieces. So I have 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 110 gold pieces to start. So I'm doing okay. That was not a bad roll. So 110 GP. Let's take a look at what 110 GP gets me. I will start a fighter with a sword. It doesn't make sense that he doesn't have a sword. I will also start him, if he wants, with just leather armor. Because, again, he would have some of the accoutrements of his class. So I'm not going to make him buy a sword in this case. So let's take a look at armor. What can he buy for armor? He could buy chain for 75 gold pieces. My guy says, heck yes. So 75 gold pieces. That leaves him 35 GP left. So I've got chain armor. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look at what a shield would cost me. Because why wouldn't I buy a shield? So let's take a look where the shield is. I love these books, but I found some of the decisions of where they put what a little confusing. Here I've got a helmet great and small, but I don't have a shield in the same chart. Shield is, those are the weapons, miscellaneous equipment, provisions, religious item, tack, harness, transport. I'm not finding a shield. I'll charge him 10 gold pieces for a decently made shield. I know I'm doing that wrong. It's in here somewhere. I'm just not finding it while I'm filming. So I'm armor and shield. So my armor class is a 4. I've got a 16 dexterity. So my AC just became 2. So, and then I'm going to buy a dagger as my secondary weapon. My dagger will cost me, not listed here again. Oh, there we go. Dagger discovered. 2 gold pieces. So 2 gold pieces, I'm down to 23. And I've got a dagger. And I'm proficient in the dagger, and I am double specialized in the longsword. So there's my guy. This is a character I would take out right now and play. And all because I did a little manipulation and had a little DM help. I don't punish players with bad character stats simply because back in the day in the 80s, we were all, I started playing when I was 18. We were all in our late teens, early 20s, and we had a lot of time on our hands. And yeah, I would absolutely make people play with garbage rolls. One of my characters started out with a 5 dexterity. Fortunately, we were in basic then, and by the time he had moved on to AD&D a few months later, a DM was nice to me and gave me a pair of gauntlets of dexterity, which bumped my dex from a 5 to a 9, and he was at least a playable character under AD&D. That's the fabled Lord Sneezy, so named because he had an 1895 strength, but only a 5 dex. I thought he'd die quickly. That character is now over 42 years old. What I do now is I'm a little easier in the character creation, just so that when people are coming over and they've taken time out of their week to come over and play a game, we only have 3 hours. We want to have fun. I'm not going to penalize somebody playing garbage roll character just because they rolled badly. So as you saw, I helped out a little bit here and there as the DM. I allow double specialization. I'm pretty easy on that. My strength rolls, in this case, I happen to roll really nice with an 1894. Usually that'll end up somewhere around an 1860 to an 1870 with the 3 roll method. The starting money was straight out of the book. I let him buy chain and shield. I gave him the sword because he would have a sword. He's a specialist. He already owned one. He's starting at 18 years old, and he's got 14 hit points. 1 or 2 other things I want to point out is it's entirely possible to start a character, a dwarf, for instance, with a 19 constitution. Simply because the character I was creating here, if I wanted to make him a dwarf, let's go under Constitution, dwarf characters, come on, there we are. Dwarf characters add 1 to their Constitution. They can go to a max of 19. So Elven Constitution, Dwarven Constitution go to a 19. An Elf can go to a 19 Dexterity. Halfling can have a 19 Constitution. It is possible to start these characters out with these. Let's see. The dwarves are very hardy. Dwarves add 1 to their Constitution score and take 1 away from the Charisma score. That's no big deal. I don't mind that. And now if I look at the age table, I've got a 19 con, all right, a 17 con rather, just went to an 18 because I am a dwarf. And now I'm going to be a dwarven fighter. So I start at 40 plus 5d4. So I'm 44, 48, 51, 55, 57 years old, which as a dwarf is mature. I lose a point of wisdom, add a point of con. There's my 19. If I had a 17 in my strength, there's my point of strength for an 18, and I get my point of wisdom back. So I have created a fighter in this case that would have the 18 strength, a 19 con, which would get him plus 5 hit points per die, which would have him start out at 15 hit points at my table. And then you can do the same thing for an elf with dexterity. You can just have them start with an 18 dex. They gain plus 1 dexterity for being an elf, so that's a 19. So there are ways you can manipulate this a little bit through the age and through the character races where you can get some really exceptional starting player characters. Again, as a DM, I've never minded that. I would rather somebody start out a character they were excited about and had fun with, and then we could role play and develop the character, as opposed to something that they're not comfortable with, they don't enjoy, and they're just trudging along because they think I want them to. So again, I am not super friendly to my players as far as I do kill player characters all the time. I have killed throughout my career, but I do not penalize people who are taking time out of their week when they come over by having them play a really bad character. However, if something does happen, the third level fighter gets hit by that poison dart and rolls a 1 on his saving throw versus poison, yeah, he's dead. Time for a new character. And you can start the same stats if you want. Just erase any magic you might have acquired by that point, a potion or two. And you can restart the same character rather than roll a new one, but he's starting over at first level. And I've done that many, many times. So that's it for today on page 121. Just a little look at character creation at my table. Let me know how you do it. Let me know if you think I'm right or wrong. Maybe what I'm doing is just absolutely terrible. Let me know different methods you guys use. And that's it. If you have any ideas for videos going forward, please throw some comments below. I take a look at the suggestions. I very often make videos based on suggestions. So please let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see. So that's it for today from page 121. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.